Maize, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah.
Talk to us, bro. How was the travel here?
Oh, mate. I'm not gonna lie. Didn't sleep until like 5:30 in the morning.
Hey, this is right. I'm cut right now. This is literally
in this industry, in this industry, you need to learn to love sleep deprived because that's what's gonna be happening.
100%.
You're gonna be like, because it's funny because you as well, Nella. Me and her are good friends, and she would text me like 3 or 4 in the morning, and then I'm like.
Yeah.
And then even my other friends as well who are creators, if they need something, they'll be like, oh.
Yeah.
Here I am, just like, just about to like go to sleep. It's like 3, and then ding. Like,
You just get back on.
I was like, go back on the laptop and it starts going through the stuff.
Funny enough, I actually didn't go sleep till 2:30 too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so don't worry, bro. It's all good. It's all good. And you know what's funny? I seen you online too.
Yeah.
But it's funny. Like I was just doing other prep stuff. And then I was like, oh, I don't know if I should message Macy.
No, if you message, I would have answered. Because it's funny because I had a client who just messaged me not long ago, and then she says, "Oh, sorry for the late reply," and then I was like, "Oh, it wasn't late; it was pretty early." Because she messaged me 11:30. I didn't see it until it was like 4 o'clock, and I was like literally trying to fall asleep for this podcast.
Yeah,
and then like I was like, "Oh, I might as well just go through the messages."
Yeah.
There was like 8 messages from there. And I was like, damn it. I'm gonna just reply it right now. And right now, I was waiting outside, I was replying back to all the messages they resent. It was funny because like majority of them was just like right when I just arrived. And I was like, oh true. And then
Yeah.
Asking for a quote. Can you send me an invoice?
Yeah.
But it's like being a creative, it's as well, it's what it is. It's a 24-hour gig, and especially running a business, it's not sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah, which we're definitely going to get into very shortly. But yeah, how was the travel for you? Obviously, you're currently running on a few hours.
Oh man, my partner, she called me and I was like, babe. I was like, what's wrong? I was like, I am not gonna make it. My eyes is heavy. I'm feeling like I should have got coffee. And he was like, it's all right, you got this. And I was telling her, I'm nervous. I don't know what we're going to talk about. I don't know what he's going to talk about. We're going to talk about feelings or whatever. And then she was like just reassuring me, I just go with the intention of having a good conversation and, at the same time go with God. And I was like, oh, yeah, all right, cool, yeah. And then just arriving. I was cracking up. I was like looking for like a warehouse. And I saw it was like a house, and I was like, "Oh yeah."
Well, I want to ask you. That's the first question I want to follow up on. Is, bro, what's your thoughts on the studio?
You know what? Coming into the studio compared to like watching it from socials,
the outside,
it's the realism of coming in and you just starting to see all this gear and how professional it is, and like. I can already tell like this was like made in detail of a creator, and like the one thing I love to see that creators creativity, and man, this like the lighting itself. There's literally 3 cameras. There's a 360 right over there, and like along the line you can see like what do you call those, like voice cancelling kind of
noise cancelling,
these ones.
Oh yeah, the padding,
yeah.
That's funny. That was actually just introduced too.
Yeah,
he just put that in recently.
So this one
like soundproof, I think it is.
To soundproof, and like even like curtains. It's just like the concerning of seeing a house and you're like, oh, it's a house. Oh.
You're like, oh, where's Josh gonna take me now?
I was like, oh, Josh better be Josh. He better come out quick. And then it was funny. I was gonna text my sister and say, oh, just in case.
Yeah, can you just
just in case
be on speed dial?
if I'm not back home 24 hours, this is the address.
Yeah.
But man, like coming in here, Togo, to be really honest, it's like, you know how like it is with our people. We always have a standard, but this right here is like proper, and like the level that I can see that you and your business partner Nick,
yeah.
Like honestly, it's refreshing because it gives me inspiration as well, and I aspire to try and be the type of creator to like also inspire other.
Yeah.
But like coming here, seeing the setup, everything, man. Oh, and shout out to Nick too, because this space here is hectic, So man, good job. Like it's hectic. I can't wait to see what you guys do with it.
Yeah. So for those out there that don't know, we're currently in the Better Media studio. So if there's anyone out there that wants to, get a podcast, want to start a podcast, or even just do some online courses, recording, make sure you guys reach out to the Better Media studio. The Instagram handles will be down in the links down below. But bro, let's talk about you, bro.
Oh yeah,
Maize. Give us a rundown as we start this podcast episode on who Tevita Palu is.
Tevita Palu, because you're gonna use government names.
It's like the only time I heard that was in the cell.
Nah. Oh, it's been a while since I heard Tevita.
Yeah.
Now with all the Palangis butchering it. Anyways, my name's my full name is Tevita Katola Maize Palu. I'm Tongan, full Tongan. Everyone calls me Maize or Maize. Yeah. And
where did that come from too, by the way?
Maize.
Yeah, your nickname. Because I remember you mentioning it in the chat.
Yeah, so it's like something from like Maize, and like mom always called me Maize, and family always called me Maize, and then like with friends, like because like some of them was like just trying to figure out what my actual name is. They preferred using Maize, and then from there it was just like Maize or Maize, or like sometimes it'll be David. Just the white people, but Maize has always been something like people that I always enjoyed using, and then I was just like, okay, Maize, yeah. So Tongan. I am 30 years old.
Young.
Oh yeah, that one. Not the way my shoulders and back is. I am. I would say. It's funny because like I was raised in Fiji.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so where it was born here, mom took me back to Fiji, full Tongan by the way, and throughout my whole first 10 years of life was literally in the islands, and coming here, it had to do with medical stuff.
Yeah. Right.
So I was very fortunate that coming to Australia and coming to see, this is where all my family is, majority of my close family are. And, still adjusting. Because in Fiji, the island life and all that, it's just, like, simple. But coming to Sydney, it's just, like,
Yeah, jumping the gun.
And then you just meet, like, people that's just, like, you've been like, whoa.
yeah. Take a step back.
Step back. And, so... from the Inner West, a creator from Inner West, and I would say videographer, photographer. Yeah, so I've been running the game since 2012.
Damn.
So I was probably just freshly, even through high school, I tried. I did photography and that, and when I came out, mom always like try to like push me to get at least a certificate or some sort of education from it. So I did TAFE photography, 4 years. Not gonna lie, I'll be really honest. If you know what you're doing, I wouldn't go for that, because you're looking at doing 4 years, and it's 4 years of you can learning that from YouTube.
Yeah.
And
so what you're doing in in TAFE again? Like, what were you studying?
So studying photo imaging.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so photo imaging is a course, but if anyone is interested in learning, TAFE is always a good place for you to start. It gives you a lot of things to consider, especially like resources, because they can resource out studios, and basically throughout the whole 4 years, you get to learn what it is to be different type of photographers. And yeah, it's a good course. But for me, it was like, yeah.
Funny enough, I do actually got a question on that, which we're going to talk later on about it's actually quite controversial. Talking about the degree versus just going out.
We're already going through that.
So,
already,
yeah. So we'll talk about that later on.
Just let me take a sip of my water before we go through that.
But yeah, that's crazy. So I want to touch base just quickly about the Fiji story.
Yeah.
So you were kind of raised in Fiji.
Yeah.
What was the purpose of you going out there?
So it had to do with Mum's job.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So she was working for I would say the whole regional of the Pacific Islands, and her job was to create I would say how I say it was to create different forms of, I would say, programs for like churches in the regional Pacific Island, and it was like around for PCC was the company that she worked for. So Mum is very well known. My mom is very well known.
Well, funny enough, I met her before I met you.
Yeah. You know what? It's when he was like, we were having this text, talking, and then during the time you were like telling me, oh yeah, sweet, or said, oh, by the way, I know your mom, and I was like, oh, true.
It's like, oh, not like the many other people that I've met to the same thing.
It's not like everyone knows her already. But obviously, of course, I was like, of course you did. So yeah, she's very well known in the Tongan community.
Yeah.
With the way she does her work. So Mum was working for the church as well, but was in, I would say, the business and the company side.
Yeah.
And she traveled a lot, and it was
So
kind of.
did you, like, on the way? Were you doing the same thing with her, or like as in traveling?
So this is funny, right? Okay, it's I tell this story to my friends, and then like my friends will look at me funny, and I was like, "You had a driver?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I had a driver. I had a few nannies, a maid maybe," and then they were like looking at me funny. I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
And then like not coming here, and when Mom decided to, had the calling of being a minister of religion, like I would say I get to see her work full on, and as it is, a lot of people respect her, and I think in Fiji, it was a part of my life where I was grateful. Like even coming here to Australia, I still find myself in Fiji time.
Yeah.
And being too relaxed, and a lot of people like find it funny because like as much as I'm a person that's also on time and stuff, but I'm always chill.
I can tell, bro.
Yeah.
And funny enough, for those out there that don't know, this is actually the first time me and Macy actually met.
Yeah.
And even that, just the conversations that we're having.
Yeah.
Like we had like a full hour chat before we even started. But I love it, bro. That's the thing I love.
Yeah, it was hectic.
But even just based on like my first impression of you, first of all, you got first impression when you actually meet versus the first impression that you see on social media. Bro, completely different person. Do you get that a lot?
Oh,
like people look at you on social media, be like, "Oh, man, this guy's this full extroverted guy," and then they don't realize that, bro. This guy is so like calm in terms of conversation.
Oh, it's a lot of trials and tribulations with that, my brother. And honestly, without God, oh man, I would say that I wouldn't be this sane or this quiet as it is. But so a lot of time, Fiji was a part of my life because, it was like had to do with mom's job and then
Yep.
coming here, obviously medical reasons, and because Fiji wasn't able to, have that medical standard. Yeah, I was fortunate enough that Australia took upon having me to come, and they flew me over, and I guess where I am now is because of like the medical system.
Yeah, wow.
And grateful, eternally grateful for where I am and where I was, where I stayed, and coming into this industry, yeah. Oh, Shanna, I'll tell you that, man. But because like it's funny because when I first started, it's like the first thing was to try and convince my mom to be a videographer, and photographer was something that I wanted. And my mom is a very calm lady, and she's also a very strict individual as well. And I do know that every decision that she wants for me is like the best. But I think as like someone who wants to, venture out and stuff, you got to do what you got to do and have that conversation. So, me and mom had a contract.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. So that contract had to do with if this was the career that she accepted for me. Very supportive, but at the same time, like I said, very strict. And again, everything she says or does is always have the best intention. And so this contract was literally written down and had to sign it. So the contract stated within the next 3 months, if I'm unable to release this much amount of money, and then I will continue. If I am not, then I would have to go into, I would say, courses to work in theology or maybe somewhere in the business. And yeah, after signing that, man, I had ambitions. I had this feeling that I had to prove my mom, this is where I want to be and this is where I'm going to be. And next 2 weeks, hustling, bustling, it wasn't even just a month. I managed to get myself into that, to the amount that stayed in a contract. And then mom was like, okay, all right, I'll let you do it. And then, that's where me being a videographer literally happened for a contract.
I wanted to follow up on that.
Yeah.
Where does Lethal Paradise come in? Like,
Lethal
because it's
Paradise.
such a unique name. So how does that like get incorporated in terms like was that part of the contract? Like finding a name. See, how did that come about?
So Lethal Paradise came later.
Yeah, right.
So what it was like just from like Maize, Palu, that was it. But then like the more I thought about it, is like, do I really genuinely want to use my name to like,
same as me, bro.
Yeah,
same too.
And I think the one thing for me with growing up, I've always seen the best in the worst. And with the word lethal, it always has that extension of feeling like lethal is like a bad thing, or like, for example, like, oh man, that's like that's lethal for you. You can get killed. For me, like, I wanted to flip it. So lethal was initially something that I was good at. So lethal was like, oh yeah, I got a camera, I'm lethal with it. Like everything I capture is lethal, and that's where lethal first came in. And I wanted that, and I wanted to have meaning. I wanted to be like something that every time someone hears it, they'll be like, oh, that's an unusual name. But at the same time, once they ask me and I tell them, they'll be like, wow, okay, I understand.
That's me right now.
Yeah.
I'm just like, wow, that's so crazy.
Yeah, so that was lethal. Paradise was something I guess I got from the Bible, um, because you know in the beginning we were in paradise, and it was always something like for me that the way it was like mentioned, um, yeah, it's like a place of where you feel in peace and you feel love, and initially paradise was a representation of doing what I love, and you know filming and photography, even editing, and pursuing projects and stuff. That was my paradise,
Yeah.
and that's where paradise came. And yeah, I was just like, I'm not sure if people will get it like now, but I do know if someone asks me, that's how I will like portray Lethal Paradise, because yeah, um, flipping and the way I grew up with faith and stuff like that. That's how Lethal Paradise came in. And it was funny because when I initially pitched it to my mum, she was like, different. Different. But
That's what I said. Like, I
yeah.
even wrote in my notes here. I
Yeah.
was like, it's such a unique name.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll be honest, bro. My first thought was like, bro, this guy's gone through the trenches, man. This guy's gone through like straight,
Oh.
The system. He's gone through the system.
No. I was
then-
very fortunate to have a parent that, provided
Grounded you.
and grounded me. And it's, when you say in trenches, it's like more of the business side coming to this. Oh man, but yeah, I think being so like as well as a PK, being a PK, you get to see a lot
It's
of
funny,
things.
I'm a GPK.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
damn.
My grandfather was a bishop.
Yeah.
And then my dad's a PK. Yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah?
more of a PK. I'm a GPK. That's what I call it.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's very tough because there's a lot of things is
Like
not
standards and
standards, and I'm not gonna lie, there were issues between me and mum in our relationship because of that. And as much as like I respect and I will always have her support, and I always am grateful for her support, but there were things sometimes where she expected me to be and to do, and it's not who I am. And growing up, she always wanted me to always know what I want, and what I wanted was to not be, I guess, be compressed. And it took a long while for her to accept it, but we got there eventually. And then just going through life, and just experimenting and seeing. I never had a grudge, or I would say I never, if I knew someone who was in jail, like to me it's like, oh, okay, I hope he's all right, like I hope life treats him well when he comes out, because I can only imagine being like isolated for a long time and coming into the world. That itself is like a journey. And I always respect those that when they come out they find good.
yeah.
That to me,
Or they make a change.
yeah, that to me, like, it only takes so long for, like, that's the one thing I think people kind of neglect on the idea of when that type of person comes out, and to them they'll be like, wow, he's so nice. He's like, it's not like what everyone was saying about that person. And like to me, it's like, man, if you knew how someone had to compress themselves to be that person, then you would understand. And yeah, I'm always someone that always have to have a different perspective on it.
Which is crazy because if you think about your business name, which is Lethal Paradise,
Yeah.
that in itself, it just has a flip.
Yeah,
And the fact that your mum even said that, oh, it's different.
yeah,
Like, I think that's the great thing about it. Even I myself was thinking, like, as I was preparing for this, like, podcast, I was like,
yeah,
I really want to know where Lethal Paradise came from.
Yeah.
And it has such a flip to it, but at the same time, it's like, it's very ironic. You got Lethal, you got Paradise. It's like the complete opposites.
Opposite.
But you were able to incorporate it in a way of like, okay, Lethal is more about my style
Yeah.
of like the way it's probably not just videography, but it's also like your photography, your editing skills and all that stuff. It's like, it all incorporates in that side of things. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but everyone will portray that at the start.
Yeah, I think it's like, I always find it funny because that is like a conversation that starts. It's like, where does Lethal Paradise come from? I remember, man, like going into like networking and stuff. That will be like the first initial conversation that starts from a potential client or maybe a colleague in the future, and they always ask me, like, bro, like Lethal Paradise, where's that from? And then when I like explain to them what Lethal Paradise, and they'll be like, man, that's good. That's crazy, but good. It's different, you know, like never heard it. And it was funny because like someone thought that Lethal Paradise was like a gym.
Oh, true.
Yeah. So I got this guy. So Lethal Paradise, is it a gym, like a fighting gym or something? He said, oh no, it's a photography videography company that I run. And then I was like, no way. All right, cool. I would like to have a conversation with you. And I was like, oh, cool. But it's fun.
Yeah.
Lethal Paradise, yeah, it's a name that you can say. And when I first started using it, it was weird because like I knew it was different. I knew it was unusual, but to me it felt right.
Yeah.
And yeah, Lethal Paradise was with me a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking like 2012 when it started. Beforehand, before you got it right, like before.
Yeah, so Lethal Paradise didn't come in until like 2014.
Yeah,
and then
but before that, you were just getting into the grind.
Yeah, getting into the grind, like Maize, Palu, and going through church, and you know, yeah. So yeah, with my journey in photography and filming, I was very fortunate enough to have a community in church, and yeah, that's how I learned. You know, shooting church stuff.
That is one crazy thing that I've noticed too, is I seen like a TikTok. I want to try and find it.
Yeah.
But it was a video of this guy, and he's like, oh, people don't know that a lot of the big producers out there, you know, the big like videographers that are in the movie scenes and all that stuff, they came from churches.
Yeah.
And that's a crazy thing that I've noticed is that I don't know. To me, my thoughts and opinion on that, and I'd love to hear yours, is like we just come from such a servant heart of just like service and wanting to just figure out a way, not getting paid for it, but finding like the right heart intentions of, okay, I'm gonna create this video, like for the church, or I'm gonna take a photo, but it's not for me, it's for God. What's your thoughts on that? I'd love to know from you, because you've done that. Like you just mentioned that you went through the like doing a lot of things throughout the church, and how much of an impact has that made for you?
To be really honest, it was a massive impact because it was not just like taking photos. It was not just like making videos. It was just like how at the time for me was like, how can I serve? Like you said, we have the initial like to serve with our being. To me, when I was filming and shooting for the church, like I had that like you said intention of not only just serving, but to like use the gift that I was blessed with to cater and serve. And man, like once you start shooting and filming and going through like the growth, that itself, like you never notice it because you generally like in a very wholesome place, and the way I thought of my process back then was like, man, I love what I do, and I'm grateful. And where I am going with this, I hope God, gives me the opportunity and the guidance. And man, it's taken me some places too. Like it's taken me to Tassie, and it was a very very unique feeling for me because it was a conference up there, and it had to do with a lot of in indigenous, and man, the way I went into that whole community, I was welcomed, and not only welcomed, like I felt like the love and how they going through and hearing stories and like taking photos and hearing the history of what happened, and just like like wow, like I had a mindset of this and this here in Sydney, but I felt like God was like, man, there's more to it. I'll take you somewhere. And God took me to Tassie. And as much as like it kind of sound like it's just Tasmania, but when I went to Tasmania, it was so different. And the indigenous people I met there, and the stories, and the history, and the culture, like I was like, wow, that this is amazing. And then like from there, had conferences, like conference. We had like Tongan conference, and just going through the conference, and like experiencing a lot of like our people that was like around state, and then hearing their stories and how like them themselves, they want to try and serve, and everything they do is for God. And then like I was like, wow, like I was very grateful that where I was and how I grew was literally out of love. And it was just unfortunate coming to the real world, trying to serve and trying to have that initial heart. Man, it's a game changer. It's different because in a very honest way, I could say it in terms of this industry, it's a very cutthroat industry. And man, my integrity was challenged so many times.
Like through Lethal Paradise,
Through Lethal Paradise,
doing
client work, through faith. And there was a point in my life that coming through, coming up, I found myself being in the worst situation, and that situation is being comfortable. And I was making a lot of dough at the time, and like not feeling the grace that came with it. I literally found myself just being like saturated together with everything. And it was terrible. Like a lot in my head. I would say I did lose a lot of my values and qualities through this industry, only because like there are certain things you want to try and create and clients you want to have, and in order to get this client you have to be this, in order to get this other client you have to be this, you have to do this. And I lost myself. I would say I did lose myself. And yeah, this industry, it's a make it or break it. And man, not long ago, I was very fortunate that a friend of mine, it was just like literally last weekend, and he invited me to like this gala by Just Jesus Ministry, and I would say a sister of mine and was hosting Seppi. So shout out to Seppi and Just Jesus Ministry, and the brother Frenny. Man, when I got there, like the genuinism and the love I felt from people, from the welcome that they came in, and like they came and say, "Oh, hello, brother, welcome. We're very grateful," and that the energy of people that you already know the genuine of love. It was like something I really did miss, because back then growing up and in the church and how I grew, like it was that feeling, it just all this trouble I had on that day, because when I say like my integrity was tested, like it was just like before that there was like an incident with a client, and it wasn't the client's fault, it was just the organizer. And man, the organizer kind of really made it out a big thing, and I would say it was like unfortunate. Like, yeah, there's no hate on my part. I just really, like I said, it's cutthroat industry. You can either make it or break it on how you take it. But I was really fortunate coming into that gala that, like, man, all my troubles literally just washed away. Just listening to gospel music, listening to prayers, and listening to every form of like praise and worship. And I was just grateful that I got that feeling. And then, like, genuinely, I was still sitting on the fence when I was thinking about continuing on. And,
oh wow!
And man, it was very, like I was finding like God works in mysterious ways, And when that happened, I said to myself, "All right, it's full time now.
Yeah.
It's time for me to come back, and it's time for me to do what I initially should have done, and that is to serve." And yeah, here I am, and here I'm talking about that, and it's full circle,
Yeah.
And I actually took 2 years off because of the whole thing,
The cutthroat of the business. Yeah.
Man, like, I kid you not, when you come into this business, you are battling a lot with other production companies, videographers, photographers, but at the same time, man, you just remember who you are, because if you find yourself in a situation where everything is good but inside is not, then you need to try and get back to it, because once you lose yourself into all the work you do, it's a very unfortunate thing, but you get to lose time, and even with time with loved ones. And that was the one thing with this business, it took me away from a lot of families and a lot of friends that I could have spent time with. And unfortunately, to this day, like, some of them has passed, and like there are certain things in my life that where once, like, I have that pause and I genuinely think about, like a memory of mine, I would have a moment where I say to myself, man, I wish that I gave a lot of time, and it was very it was very hard to try and accept. And I think acceptance has been like another big thing for me, is just try and like accept with every decision that I made, with what happened after, it is what it is, and there's no going back. But the lesson and literally the gratitude I get from it is like, it's like more than it's more than I say hold value to. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful where it has taken me. I'm grateful that the friends that I made, and I'm grateful that with like the decisions that, even though they were bad, they were lessons, and even when they're good, they were like wins and stuff. But at the same time, still grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that word that you're mentioning, grateful and gratitude.
Yeah.
I think it's one thing that really will set you free, especially in the, I mean, it's not just like faith, but also on the field of going out, doing business, whether it's, well, for us, one thing that we can both relate to is the the media,
Yeah.
the media business game, having that gratitude because you know it's like a pendulum effect. You know, it's like positive on one side, negative on the other side,
Yeah.
and it's like the one thing that keeps you centered is the gratitude.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't matter how far you sway, like on the good, you got to bring yourself back in because
100%.
then, as you mentioned, the comfortability starts setting in, and that's probably the biggest
Yeah.
thing that
Biggest
happened with
enemy
you.
that you can ever go through
Yeah,
in
is
business.
being comfortable,
Being
and then at the
comfortable,
same time too, it's like there's only so much struggle that you can go through that you can just have to bring yourself back in line.
Yeah.
You're like, nah, it's alright. Even though I'm going through the struggle, I'm so grateful that I've gone through it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much in essence what I'm hearing from you,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is
yeah,
crazy.
Yeah. It's like like being like a PK and coming in with the idea of serving. I remember, man, I always loved to help people, and
It's like in your nature.
my nature, and like it's any Pacific Islander nature. We in the household that we are raised
Yeah.
in, we're always taught to remember to serve, and when you're serving, it's not like you're representing yourself. It's like you're representing God and the family, and like being someone young and having ambition and coming into an industry where you feel like it's gonna be, oh yeah, I'm going out to help, I'm going out to represent, and then you have the realism of life.
Yeah.
You have clienteles that will not only test your humanity but test your faith and test the way you portray yourself, and like I said, make it or break it. This business here, like you get to find a lot of perspective in growing. And what I mean by that is like initially coming in with a heart of helping. There were a few times that a lot of people, they were like worried, and not just worried, they were just like, I would say, man, they didn't believe, they didn't feel like they believed it. And like when I came in, I remember I was trying to help an artist, and I told him, listen, man, we can help each other. Like, I love what you guys doing. Even unfortunately enough, it was at the end, it didn't work out as what it was supposed to be. But at the same time, the experience I had with that person, like I'm still grateful, and I hope one day, he realizes. And that time, it was bad because I helped him out, make music videos for him, and then later on he was just like, oh yeah, I don't really need you guys, like I can get other people to do my stuff. And like I was heartbroken because you come in with the sleeve and to serve and the heart to love and all that's your people, but to be told by your own people that I can find somewhere better and all that, it's heartbreaking. But at the same time, later on in life, I was grateful that he messaged and he apologized, and I was like, whoa, like the time from there where he was like just giving it to me and like all that, it was like from there to now, I can only imagine what type of journey he went through in order to have that realization, and for him to message, man, Docs, it's been a long time, I know it's like this and so, but honestly, I just want to apologize with my behavior and stuff like that. And I was like, man, all I can say is like I really appreciate it, but at the same time, I needed to be tough. And I told him, I appreciate it. And he asked me if it would be okay, like would you still want to work, do the work with me? And I told him, see, like with that depends on like because at the time I was working with my good friend, Lewis. So shout out to my best mate Lewis, Ray Records. So me and him, we run up like that whole business of he does the music industry, like the producing music, and I do the filming.
Yeah.
So it was like a team, like the A team for me was me and him. We were running amok with it, and I told him, man, that depends, because it's not just me, it's him, and like he understood. Like I told him there will be a chance that we might not be like want to be working with you. It's only just the fact that like from then to now, we appreciate that you come forward now to apologize, but it's unfortunate that we would not want to continue on with that, with the work. And like when I initially had to say that, it was tough, because you want to welcome a lot of people and you want to help them, and then once I would say they done you dirty, you gotta just pack it up and like be honest. And I think you
know what's crazy? You're actually answering a lot of the questions that I had asked anyway.
Oh, yeah?
Literally, like, some of the questions I had was like, what was a pivotal moment, like, in your business life? And that's definitely one of the stories.
Yeah.
That would have been something that actually was like a turning point for you.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there was anything else? Do you feel like there was any other, like, I guess, pivotal moments that you had in your journey?
There was a lot.
Yeah.
Like...
What was, like, one significant moment that's, like, completely changed, like, your business journey for you?
All right. So I'm going to try to do this without, like, dropping names or anything. But there were times where running... while I was running the Live for Paradise, I would contract other creators to come and help me.
So like subcontracting?
Yeah, subcontracting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it was very unfortunate for me that they were so back like I would say, we trust easy very quick. And to do that, it's like it's either like it's like a coin flip. Yeah, it's gonna be good or bad. For some reason, it was bad.
It's like where you're going for heads, freak, it's tails.
I was like, oh man, with the expectation I had, like I said, I always wanted to help people. I always wanted to help creatives as well. It was very unfortunate that from our people too. So there was a birthday, and this is just me coming up too, and like I never thought that like the first few jobs that I would have, I would have a problematic kind of situation, and the situation was I had this birthday that I was supposed to do. I will initially, for me, I would like to have a photographer to come and help out, and I would to take care of the filming. Long story short, I told this photographer 2 months like prior to the event, and like kept on messaging him. He said, yeah, he's still good. So when it came on the day, I was getting ready, and then I got a text message telling me, oh, Doggo, sorry, I can't make it. I'm just going through something through life, and like I need to fix it. And like like in me when I first read that, I was inside, I was burning.
Come on, bro.
I was burning inside.
Gotta be real here.
Yeah,
True.
I was burning inside. But this is what I mean when like my intentions of like how I was raised. I messaged this guy and told him, no, man, it's okay. But really, it wasn't okay, because what happened was, imagine going to a client and then initially telling them, oh yeah, I'll be working with someone, and only to be coming by myself, and then like later on trying to explain to them, there is a problem. The problem is my photographer kind of told me today he can't come, and then like I try to do my best to like work around it, and unfortunately, there was yeah, there was a lot of controversial things between the family, and I try to do my best to try and serve more than I can. But man, it was so bad. It came to a point like I did film. I got what they wanted initially was a highlight. Then my laptop started breaking down on me. Right? Started breaking down on me. So if you look
The coin, bro.
flipping the coin, if you look at it, it was not only I went to a birthday initially to have a photographer, but a photographer canceling on me. And then when I'm trying to like push a lot of things to like make this client happy, the one tool I need breaks down.
Just breaks down, bro.
And then yeah, that was like a whole spiral for me.
Yeah.
It was the first time. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, it's I should have learned from it, but I didn't. So tell me why I hired this guy again, thinking, I hired him again, and then on the same day, just the day before, the doctor can't come. I was like, why? He can't come. Tell me. Because if you had told me like a week or 2 weeks, I could have found someone to come and help me. And the importance of having like a list of creatives under your belt, it was important. That's how I learned to try and find a lot of creatives. And it was just from there. Like I would say, negative thoughts started pouring in, and I was saying to myself, man, can I do this? Can I really do this? Because I can't believe he done this to me, and I was so mad.
Yeah.
I was so frustrated, but like the thing was, it was like the me itself was not showing it. It had like a very good way of just masking my emotions, because like at the same time being in a household to serve, there are certain things as well that you have to try and do, and while serving you also have to uphold like the name, and you have to mask out your true self and all that stuff, and it was tough. And man, it's hard when not only like someone you thought that you can not only help build, but you initially have this connection with, not only done you dirty once, but then twice. Is that me?
I think it's your phone, yeah. I think it's just vibrating anyways.
Ooh, don't know what it is. Sorry.
No, that's all right. It's all good, bro.
It was probably like one of a client. So if you're watching this, just know that I was on the middle of something. But yeah,
that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, so I did not learn. I did not learn there too.
But would you say that has like been like a pivotal moment for you?
Man, yeah, it was
it's
massive.
A crazy story too, by the way.
Yeah, it was massive because like I said, you have this heart to serve, and while you're serving and they're not giving you the same energy back, it was heartbreaking, and even the more heartbreaking part is like later on it happened again, but it was like with a different person, different creator. And
so obviously you're going through all these
series,
but it's not the same person. It's just people.
Yeah. And it's sad because when you look into it, man, like my thought process back then to where everything was going on, it's like it's not easy, because the family that was like a contract, and then once that that whole thing happened, it's like in your head you're thinking, man, these people, I know they don't like me. They're telling me they're saying something, and all that negativity start coming to you. And there was like, I remember one time it was like 2021. Not 2021. I think just prior after 2000 or 2022, it was like another 21st birthday, and I hired a creator, but initially this creator was good. Like it was the first time I worked with someone that was good. Everything was going well, and then yeah, a lot of finance things happened, and I lost a few things through that finance thing, and then like at the same time, I try to do my best to try and like pay my workers and stuff like that, but unfortunately, yeah, it was so out of whack, and this was just coming off from like COVID,
Yeah.
and coming back into the game. And so initially I was working for a company that was like or should I say it was like a runway company. It was a runway thing, and yeah, it was tough because there was a lot of things they wanted, and I sent them a contract, and this is where I started working using contracts. And then being naive again and being so nice, I forgot about the contract. So I was doing work, and a lot of this work was pretty much I would say reproducing a lot of the content that they were looking for. And yeah, it was like when it came to payment again, it was like, oh yeah, this is where I initially heard money isn't an issue. Any creator out there, thank you, Though. Any creator out there, if you hear a client without any contract saying money is an issue, it's an issue, because later on when you tell them the real price, they're gonna be like, I can't do that. And then they'll start talking about their story and their life stories, and I was like, initially when you have a creator on knowing what they're doing and what they can bring into this company, and you say that, that type of things as like money isn't an issue, sometimes when it comes to it, it's, yeah, having a contract is the best way you can have. So yeah, I worked for that company, then shooting a 21st, and then what happened was there was a falling out, and it was a falling out to a point where when reshooting in my contract, I always have reimbursements, and having this conversation with this person, it was very tough because he will come out, oh, I didn't agree to this, I didn't do this, I didn't want this, I want this, but I'm not going to pay for it because I've spent a lot of money on trying to get, all this to get it done, for models and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, when we sat down, we had a very good conversation on you trying to push out a vision. And I told you what I do is I can bring that vision out. I can push it. I can, whatever you need. My job is to push that content out for you and make your vision a reality. And then with everything going through, man, we had a very massive meeting. Words was exchanged. And then my question after that was like, okay, where's the contract that you signed? I need to look at the contract. He goes to me, oh, I'll be really honest, I didn't sign the contract. And then, I was like, whoa. I was like, Another one, even when you try to get the
As
right
DJ Khaled
paperwork.
would say. Another one.
Another one. Oh, man. And not only that, when you get paid, right? Initially, there's a lot of things that was happening. Then had to be paid, had to get this sorted, and the money that I was gonna have from that
We're gonna help the
was
21st.
gonna help the
The
21st and to help the people that
that were
was
helping you out.
helping me out. And yeah, it didn't happen. I was going into the birthday, trying to figure out, like,
How are you going to
yeah,
get it done?
get it done. I need to pay this person, and we had a good time. And right now, like, well, yeah. So that creator ended up sending me a long email telling me if like I'm not gonna pay them, then they will take it upon themselves to take me to court. And I was like, like when you get that, it's just like it's another thing to learn from that, but to go through it, it's like new.
Yeah.
Like I promised this person, and then at the end of the day, like unfortunately, with the people I worked with, didn't come through or follow through, and our friendship was literally
At breaking point.
like, yeah. So that was like initially like the biggest breaking point for
Yeah.
me,
Like the pivotal point in your career.
where I stopped for 2 years.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I stopped for 2 years.
Bro, before you continue, can I say thank you?
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing this.
Oh no, you're
Yeah.
all good, man.
No, I really appreciate it because, bro, like what you're touching on, like
Yeah.
I'm already kind of sitting in your shoes, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, like if I was in a position, I would have done the same thing. If not, I would have just quit. I would have
Yeah.
just quit the business, like in itself.
Oh man, I quit.
Even though you're off for like 2 years,
2 years still, but like that 2 years, it would have grown Leaf of Paradise to like a lot more. Honestly, when I left, I was depressed.
yeah,
It was something, man. Like, you know how I told you in the beginning, like coming from a place of love
Yeah.
and worship and everything. But the real world, it sucks.
legit, bro.
Bro,
And
it's
then just to incorporate business, like just put business title there, and like, bro, everything is hiding.
yeah, bro. Listen, everyone, listen. Being a creative is easy. Being a businessman, it sucks. It's terrible. You have to go through like a lot of emotions. You have to try to compress a lot of emotions. Like, I'm a nice guy. I'm a kind guy, but
Yeah,
sometimes a lot of people just need to slap in the head. I swear, like, listen, I don't care. If, like, I'll be honest. Like, this is what I mean. Like, this business is a cutthroat thing. You can make it or break it. This can make you where you want to be, or this can break you and not where it will build you. Because, like, I was like, initially, I was never coming back. I was saying to myself, yeah, I'm coming back. 2 years later, no. But if it wasn't like throughout that whole situation, and like still like even bumping into people that done me dirty, and bumping into people that I like, they think that I've done them dirty, but if they knew the story, that's the one thing about it too. As a business owner, you have to like hold all that responsibility. It's not like for us to like tell the company or people
or the clients.
oh yeah, I'm going through something, I need time. Man, you got time to work. You need to do what you were initially told, even if it's unfortunately that maybe a laptop or a person that you trust was supposed to help you didn't show up. Cop it. All you can do is just cop it in the chin. Let that client cop it like a few times on you, and get back up and continue on. That's all you gotta do, And like for me, man, it caught me so much that the negative feeling and the negative comments in my head started like pushing out. And honestly, there was a few times I felt to myself, man, I just lost my path. I don't know what I'm doing, and like Like initially, like that's why like for me, I was like, man, and like I had a mentor, and I was talking to him. It was about it, and like he always like always for some reason he always tells me, forget about it, because like honestly, the the time we have in this earth is limited. Everything you feel and everything you go through is just a learning process. Forget about what happened, forget about what that person did, forget about, you know, the feelings that you felt towards that person. Move on. Walk it. Like to me when I heard that, and especially with being young, you know, like you're just like, I don't like that answer. I hate that answer. I deprive from that answer. And then you try to feel bots, and then you go on to and make it worse. And then like along the the road of life and going and walking throughout your whole like journey, like I'm at a place right now that peace is all I have. And it was funny because I was talking to my mentor again, and I told him like with what happened, especially the story recently I told you about that happened on March. I told him, and then he asked me, "How do you feel about it?" And I initially told him, to be really honest, it's like I can't waste time on it. Like I really can't waste time on it. If someone is not initially going to give me the same energy that I give, then it's best for me to like just continue on. And I told him like it's like you said, limited time on this earth. And after that, man, it was so weird because I started getting work, right? And this was like generally work that I wanted a long time ago. A long time
You're
ago.
getting at the point where you're like, no, want to continue.
Yeah, I was like, to be honest, like I was even surprised that a lot of people wanted to work with me because on how like with my page, it's not really active, you know. But like for some reason, like a lot of people message me and inquire this and inquire that, and I was like, what's going on, you know? Like I just came back just a year and a half ago, and all of a sudden, like when everything was going down, and you know, from then to now, I've always thought that, you know, like the negative impact that I had towards the people I worked with will go around, and like a lot of people would not want to work with me. But then, man, just like old clients coming back, old clients told word of mouth to some of their friends and family, and I was like, thinking to myself, nah, this is too good to be true. Like I thought, because like initially in this business, like you have a good month, right? And then 1 month you have to think about like, damn, I need money, but no one is hiring me, right? I come to a point like I had a full month, and it's still continuing on. Like right after this, I'm going to a meeting in Mascot. I have a meeting, and I'm at a stage where like if I'm not gonna break it, then it's fine. I'm just at a point where I am really happy because what I've learned from there to now, I know how to dissolve it. I know how to literally have a plan B. And when I was telling this to him, I told him, man, it's weird because like it was weird because like back then there were so many opportunities, but for some reason like I wasn't getting it. Like I said it, I'll say it, like the way I said it, it kind of felt like I was like what's that word? It's like I deserved it, right? And then like saying that, and then being naive, and again, going through all that, coming and talking to my uncle about it. And I told him, man, but you know what? I'm grateful. I'm grateful because I get to meet people who believe in me. I get to see who is literally supporting me, and I get to see like old business, clients coming in, and then, like, I'm in a good place. It's not just in a good place. Like, I am free from ever feeling like jealousy or feeling some sort of hatred, anger, or all that stuff. And then he was laughing. He was laughing on the corner while he was working as well. And I was looking at him. Why are you laughing? And then he was like, you know what's funny? He was like, what? He's like, you always say that you had bad luck, but there's no such thing as bad luck. The thing is, it was already written. And I was like, what do you mean? It was like, God's plan is different to all of us. Maybe you did think at the time that you deserved that opportunity, but there were things in this life or in things in the world that we do not understand or know, but God knows. And I was like, damn. Like, going through all that, and like the trust and the naiveness that I had in believing in people, like, it literally shattered. But then coming towards now, like, I'm in peace. Like if I were to talk about that person, or if I were to see that person, I was like, there's no bad blood. Like I don't have any grudge or anything against it, but that feeling back then, it sucks.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I just from listening to, I'm gonna say it again. I appreciate you, bro, for sharing this.
Oh man!
First of all, I need to check on you. How you feeling?
Right, I'm 100% good because God is good. Man,
how you feeling right now, though, knowing that you've shared it?
Oh man,
like you kind of got it out.
I got it out. It's for me to share it. I'm not sure if someone is gonna take something out of it, but the one thing I knew watching your stuff is like, it's all business, right? It's all like love, passion, hectic, but the actual feeling and the realistic thing about it is like it can make it or break it. Like, it's crazy because it's crazy because like a lot of creators, they come into the game thinking, all I
gotta do is just record,
film,
do the edits, and then send it.
Then you have to like go through people, like they will be like, we want this to be changed. The worst thing I hate is like when someone tells me, we love the video, but can you change the music? But you know what I did?
Why did you just trigger me like that, bro?
Right. You know what you know what? That was like, see, like everyone can go through life, but if you hear a client telling you, we love the video, but if you change the music, it will be much appreciated. It's not that easy. Changing a song on a video is not easy. It is hard because you have to go in re-editing. You have to re-edit everything. Like I said, guys, being a creative and a creator is easy, but being a business person, it's terrible.
In the creative game?
It sucks.
Even that too, quick PSA.
Yeah.
If you're a client out there that is working with a creative, right? Bro, just give them the bloody song, bro. Give them the music, because literally that is the foundation of what we do to make it all happen.
That is right.
It's just gave me flashbacks, bro. I was like,
bro, you know how many weddings I had to remake?
You know what's funny? Like, and here's me finally, sharing a piece. The last wedding that I did, which is actually the one that I met your mum.
True. Enough,
yeah. The first, like when I was doing a consultation, the first thing I asked her, like, because it was the bride, which I'm starting to realize too. I'm starting to learn that in the wedding game, it's mostly the bride,
Yeah, it
right?
has to
Because it's
be.
usually it's their thing.
Of course.
And so, like, you know, she was my point person. I was having a conversation with her, and like in the consultation, the very first thing I asked her is, "What song do you want for your highlight reel?"
Yeah.
And like, no, actually, I didn't ask her in the consultation. I asked her like beforehand. I said,
Yeah.
"Can you give me a song?" Gave me the song, and bro, the process of me getting the video out was number one, 10 times faster.
Oh.
Right, and then number two is that they were happy because it's like, oh, that's all I wanted was just a song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah.
you do with it, like, you know, connect the dots, whatever you have to do that. But I just want this song, and I was like, bro, this is the perfect client.
You know, it's very rare to have
crazy,
that
eh?
client too. Yeah, because they'll be initially, when you do a wedding, they'll come back. Oh, I love the video. Can we change the song?
Oh,
There was one time I remember. It was like a Samoan Tongan couple, and like you said, I went through the bride because the bride had this vision. She
Yeah.
wanted what it was. Oh, the one thing I remember on that was like after everything, right? She messaged me like later that night. Oh, is the video ready?
oh,
I was like, what?
oh,
Video? No.
yeah,
I was like, oh, okay. And then like I told him every time we do a shoot or every time I do a wedding, it's always a 2-week turnaround
yeah,
because it's a long process.
yeah.
This lady, this this girl decides to message me not just that day, but every day.
Oh,
Yeah, it's great. It's just like, oh, is the photos ready? Oh, 2 weeks, you know, I'll be waiting. Oh, okay. Then she messages again. It was like a few hours after. I was like, oh, is the video ready? At least can you see a draft? And like, oh, it comes to a point like, no, not yet. Just wait a bit, and then, so, I was working on the video and I had a draft, and then she messaged me, "Can you see a draft? Let's see a draft." And then I decided to send her the draft without any color grading,
Yeah.
without any
just overall.
transitions or like any cuts, like proper cuts. And yeah, she messaged me furious. She was angry, and I was like, "Oh, like the shots you got, you know, it's not clear, it's all this." And then I told her, "All right, give me 1 week, 1 week for me to work on this, and once you see it, then you'll be happy. I guarantee you." And then, man, she was just going at me. I was like, "What is going on?" And she was like telling me, "Oh, I don't want the song anymore. I want it different." And then that's when he was like telling me, I was saying to myself, did she literally just tell me to change the song while I'm working
Yeah.
on the video? And you know, like it's one of those ones where you just have to just copy it. And
Yeah.
I was like, all right, send me
Get
the
it
song
done. Yeah.
you want, and then I'll do what I will do, and then I'll send it through. Done the video, done the photos, send it, blocked. Got paid. Oh, I'm alright with it, but don't message me ever again.
Yeah.
Because yeah, what you did for that whole 2 weeks just kind of battered my mental health a bit.
But you know what's cool though? Like the good thing about that is, and it's the other side of the coin, by the way.
Yeah.
Is like the good thing behind it is that now you know who not to work with.
Oh, 100%.
That's the thing I love about business, bro. Is that when you meet like certain clients and they're not like
You
the
already
end-all,
have a
be-all,
good read
or
on
the
them
best one.
straight away on what they say, how they speak.
It really teaches you about the next one, like the next client that you work with, and how to manage that, all the red flags. You can usually suss it out a lot more earlier.
Oh, 100%.
Even when they start asking you to change the song as you're editing.
See, you know what's funny? You know, like that with the changing the song thing, I added that onto my contract.
Yes.
And then initially in the contract, I made sure that if they were gonna give me a song, it's only one song. Because I added there if somehow that if the editing process is to be changed completely, then it'll be an extra fee. Once that was implemented, like it was all easy from there.
Yeah.
You know, it was all calm and collective. That's why, like, man, a lot of creatives out there, get your contracts on. Contracts is very important for you in business because at the same time, it protects you not only from the clientele, but it also protects you from the clientele just literally mucking around and
Make your last minute changes.
making your life a living hell.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, because man, when I tell you, man, there's so many clients I worked with. They're good and bad, and there are some that's just like, wow, and you're a business person.
Yeah.
It's
Funny. Even it's like you'd think that they're in the business game and they would understand, but it's not necessarily the case. And I think the main thing that I'm learning, because funny enough, people think that like I'm all there. It's like, bro, just because I do a podcast around business doesn't mean I'm all there.
Yeah.
Right? If anything, I'm just so intrigued about business, especially
100%.
especially when it's something like what we're doing.
Yeah.
Right? It just hits home with me.
Yeah. Listen, I'm still broke.
Yeah, literally.
Right. I'm a creative. I got cameras and everything, but I'm still broke.
Yeah. It's like, why do you think we charge so high?
Yeah, but still being broke.
Yeah. But literally though, it's like I'm even learning myself that like when you jump into business and even when you're working like B2B, so working with businesses, you need to understand that they are still a person.
Yeah,
And they
100%.
still have feelings and they do have imperfection, even though they are a business person.
100%.
And like, just like yourself, like we had to learn like that the hard way because we're
the
assuming
hard
like,
way,
oh,
yeah.
bro, like you're a
Yeah.
business person yourself, wouldn't you understand? But obviously, as we're going through the process, we start to realize, oh, okay, it's not the case that every business person out there would have the same mindset.
Of course, yeah. Like, listen, it's like, man, we can be friends. We can talk about like life. We can talk about everything, personal things. We can be best friends. But once that contract comes in, we're business.
Yeah, 100%.
It's all business. You know, like there's no such thing as like being friends and then working with friends and
Yeah.
then getting paid what you feel like you deserve or what your value is, and you think your friend is going to pay you that. Your friend is going to try and get a cheaper price. Once that contract comes in, your friend is a business person. As a business person, you, like, has to follow through that. And you know, like I said, the hard way we ever learned was that sometimes people are very easy on learning how to manipulate you because of the way you are. And man, this game here, like I said, make it or break it. You either learn from it or not. If you quit, you quit. It's all right to quit. But for me, it's like I don't want to regret it. You know, like I do feel like I still have a lot to try and push and still try to make. I'm still at that mindset, like coming back. I'm still like, you know, trying to develop my own style. Trying to literally feel like if what I had happened to me last time would happen again.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like if it did, it is what it is. I'm at peace with it. You know, like all I know is that whatever happens, I do wish that, you know, I do wish that something good comes out of it, something bad comes out of it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
All I can do as a business person is try to have a plan B or try and do what I can to make the clientele happy. And yeah, that's, like I said, we can be friends. Client can be friends. We can be best friends. You know, like if you want, I can come to your wedding and make a speech about it. But once that contract is signed,
business is business.
Well, business is business. There's no such thing as friends, family. It's just business.
And adding on to that, keep it strictly business.
Strictly business,
You know,
of course.
Once the contract's signed. Now, I've got one question, right? I had a lot of questions, but you've answered all of them, literally.
Yeah.
But there is one question I do want to add in before we kind of like wrap up this podcast. And it's got to do with like aspiring creators out there that are wanting to turn their passion into making profit. And like, you know, getting into the business game. And I wanted to ask from your journey of being a creator, even just the stories that you've shared.
Yeah.
What are like your top 3 tips or things that you would give to like aspiring creators that are wanting to turn their passion into a business? What would be like your top three?
Top three. If you love your craft enough, you still be a student on it. You have to learn every day. You just can't go into a shoot thinking, oh yeah, I know how to do that, and that's it. No, you need to still be a student, because this creative business changes every year. Like right now, we got AI. Like that's changing.
Mm-hmm.
That's changing how companies are gonna try to look for producing. For producers or videographers, photographers, because there's already a system in place that was created to help them create like any content they want.
Because you got like ChatGPT that can create your copies for you.
Of course.
And then even like, funny enough, what we do on the Behind the Brand podcast is that we use Opus clips.
Yeah.
Right, and that's how we're able to do all the cutting up for the small content.
Yeah.
So even things like that, like you start to feel like it's saving a lot of time.
Yeah.
So if we're doing that, just imagine all the companies out there that are going out and looking at, how can we save money or time with humans and looking at like artificial intelligence.
Yeah. Like I said, learn. If you love
Being a student.
the industry, the passion, learn. Keep on learning. Still be a student, because that is literally. Is that my phone again?
Yeah, that's what it is. So that was the first one.
Yeah.
What's another one?
Another one.
There's two. Yeah.
Another one. I would say, man, know your value and get that contract. Because I trust you. Trust me right now. If you go into this blindfolded, you will get cut, and it will.
It's like either way, you're gonna get cut anyways.
Of course.
Even if you don't give if you don't give a contract, it's gonna hurt you at the end. But even when you do give a contract, it's still gonna cut you anyways, because they're gonna be like asking questions. It's gonna be hard.
Yeah, 100%. But that's the game, That's how you grow. Like, comfortability is the worst thing you can ever have in your arsenal. You don't need it. If you find yourself comfortable, do something that you haven't done before. Go somewhere you haven't done before. Even shoot something that you haven't done before. That's the one thing about creativity. Like, it's a thing that you can still grow. It's a thing that you can still do. Get that contract. Learn about the business. If you want to be in this business, learn it. And the last thing I would say is like, when you go into everything and you feel like you're pushing the best of your ability, just know that there's always better times. There's always good clients, there'll be bad clients. Like every loss, like there's a saying, like I heard it just recently, like every loss is not a loss, it's a lesson. And that's the honest truth. Because once you face yourself with someone who is going to try and play games with you, that's where you learn, that's where you adapt, that's where you can execute where you think it's best to go through that situation by another client is just literally just, And then, that's the three things that I reckon that if you're going to be a creative, always be the student, learn the business, and there's always better days. And, yeah. Anything else?
No, that's it. That's it. We'll probably end it off there. But, Maize, man, appreciate you jumping on.
Oh, no,
we do have a tradition here on the Behind the Brand.
Oh, no. What's the tradition?
And the tradition is we actually get like the previous special guests. They ask you a question.
Okay.
And then what you do is you end up asking, like, I'll ask you what's the question you want to ask for the next one.
Yeah.
For the next special guest, and then we'll do that after, outside this podcast. So the question that our previous guest asked you is, if you could tell your 14-year-old self some advice, what would it be?
Oh, damn. You know what? I had that for a long time and a lot lately.
14-year-old Maize.
14-year-old Maize.
What advice?
The advice that I would give 14-year-old Maize is, Um, Damn, that's actually a lot of questions. But I think the one thing I would say is everything will be all right. Do what you gotta do. Always remember, like everything will be okay. Keep pushing. Like the dream is there. Every step you take, even every step that you like literally, take back, it's all right. It's all right to fail. You know why? Because like at the end of the day, once you find that place of peace, man, God is good. There is a reason why it's the journey, because from where you are to where you want to be, like maybe God is like saying, yeah, not yet, but you'll be there. So keep going. Yeah.
Yo, we're gonna seal it there. Maize, man, appreciate you jumping on.
Oh man, I appreciate you.
Is there anything you want to say before we wrap up?
Man, God is good, man. I really appreciate your time, man. Thank you for having me behind the brand. Shout out to the Toko. Behind the brand, man. It's a good platform to have different creators come out and share experience. And I really do hope that whoever's watching this finds something out of it. Even though like all the stories I've been saying might have been just me complaining.
Having a little bit of a rant.
But it's real.
Yeah.
Follow the Toggle, follow the journey behind the brand. Shout out to Nick. If you guys ever want gigs, the Toggle is here. I'm here. Every creator. We here. Any creators you want that comes through here, they're here too. But at the end of the day, blessings on blessings, and I really appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man. I'm grateful for you, man. Grateful for your words. And if there are going to be people out there that are wanting to know more about you, what's the best way to communicate with you?
Just go through socials, if you want to probably inquire something or like even come and say hello, I'll be around. If you see me, come and say hi, as much as I look like this, I'm a good person.
Instagram, is that the best way for you?
Yeah, Instagram, like even Facebook. I have Facebook, but it's like, I'm not really using it. But yeah, just come say hi if you see me, or if you want to send me a quick message. Lethal Paradise _ that's my tag. And that's where you can reach me.
Yeah, so for those out there that are tuning in into our platforms, I'll be in the link down in the description below. We'll get it from you, all the links. So if you want to connect with Maize, Tevita, then you guys can check it down in all the links down below. But ladies and gentlemen, that is all that we got for today. Maize, thank you so much once again for jumping on.
No, thank you.
And thank you for everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in the next one.